Hello, everybody. We're a group here from the Central Kimberley. Yay!
Welcome.
And our presentation actually starts with a message from a senior language woman, an elder in the Purrumpa community, because we work on Purrumpa country. So we'd like to first let Patsy Betford have the first words. She's quite quiet, so please give her a lot of volume. She's not that quiet.
Passing down our language through arts.
Would it be okay if we go back to the beginning
and
of the
storytelling.
presentation?
Good morning. Ngaragi ngalo. Au warkamia. Ngayon warkamila payakawi. Tangano. My name is Patsy and I work here with at Payakawi, who's doing a magnificent job in passing down our language through arts and storytelling and book writing. The language journey in the Kimberley has been with education. Our elders recorded heaps of materials in languages because we knew how important the education was. The children were always sent to school, and the elders decided, yes, we'll start recording language so that our children could speak our languages when we're gone. Since going into the education department, there has been barriers because not realizing that the education that they were being taught wasn't part of their culture and didn't have the influence of language being part of it. But in saying all that, we've come a long way and we've seen the visions of our elders now being put into books, recording of stories, and audios also recorded with the stories. And that is why it's very important that we do this with arts. It captures also language with our culture and the storytelling that's happening here at Payakawi. And now that Payakawi works with the smaller children, as we all know, we come from oral tradition, and this is where the language, the knowledge passing is being done with the small children there. We put the seeds into the children here at Payakawi through doing the stuff that we're doing here, which you'll see presentation of. And I sit here as an elder, and I'm very proud to see the vision that was put by the elders, which we are now part of. The elders have left us, but their dreams are coming true.
Good morning, everyone. Ngaini Purrumpa Tangani. My name is Jaireen. Purrumpawi from Fitzroy Crossing. And that was just my Mimi there you was listening to. Patsy, it's an honor to be here. This is my first time up on stage as well, so a bit nervous. But I'm happy and proud to be here for her and our language. And my other judge are here as well, Kubit. Her name is, back full name, but she's Susan Holt. You want to say anything, Taylor?
Yeah, we were doing language from a long time when I was at the old school from 2008. I was still working language, and they still bring us back to do language with learning kids, you know. That's the main thing, we learn our kids from the smallest to the oldest, you know. Teach them proper way.
So,
Because language is the main important thing for us.
we from the learning childcare.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. We say I'm Walmajari. I would like to say Ulu Komanda, and I'm Walmajari. My family came, all our language group that live on the Fitzroy River, Purrumpa, Kuniandi, Walmajari, and Wangajunga, and Nigana. And I'm so happy to be here because I speak Walmajari, and we're doing books in English and doing in our language for the little ones at Baigawi, and it's really very important for our little ones to learn their language, and when they grow a bit older and they can tell their language to their children. That's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, I'm Marcia Cook. I'm a Walmajari woman from mom's side. My father's a PNG man. I'm a childhood educator, and I run the mobile play group out in my community from 0 to 4.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patricia Cox. I'm a Guniandi woman, and I work with the early years back at home at Bayagawi. I'm an educator, and you'll see more of us when we do our presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Amy. I'm the coordinator at Baigawi. We work under Marta Monteguro Women's Resource Centre, and words from our CEO, Emily Carter, is we can't move forward until we begin to heal. So our main practices at Baigawi are based around healing and wellbeing and trauma-informed practice, not only for our little ones, but for all of us. So we're all on a journey together to teach, our little ones from a very young age, so we can keep the traditions going within the Fitzroy Valley. And we work alongside some amazing ladies here who make up part of our language, cultural and wellbeing team, and they inform a lot of the practices that we have within the service.
My name is Gillian Howell, and I'm actually not a local to Fitzroy Crossing. I'm from Wurundjeri country. I live in Melbourne, but I work for Tour and New Music, and twice a year I have the great privilege of travelling to Fitzroy Crossing to work with the women at Baigawi, with the educators, to help them with developing songs, original songs to accompany the books and the visual storytelling work that they do in language with the children. So we'll talk a bit more about that, and we'll be doing some singing, I hope, in a little while. Amy, I'm going to pass back to you just to give the context.
Yeah, so as Gillian was saying, we're from the Kimberleys, Fitzroy Crossing. We're about 4 hours inland from Broome. We're quite a small town, about 2,000 people in town, and then we've got a lot of surrounding communities as well. Fitzroy Crossing lays on the banks of the Fitzroy River, which is a very important part to all of our local educators and everyone in our community. On the screen is a picture of the river, and one of the ladies wants to talk about the importance of the river.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to say a little bit about the Fitzroy River. It's important that our elder, they take us down and we go out there. It's like a classroom. We go out there, we tell stories. Our old people, they pass on the knowledge to us, and we pass on the knowledge to our kids. But we see the river is a very important place, because that's where we get our learning and more knowledge along the side of the river. Yeah, thank you.
So the slide on the screen is a picture of our early learning service, So it's actually a Baigawi, which is in Purrumpa, a freshwater whipray, which is found in the Fitzroy River. So our building is actually styled on the whipray. So we've got a fantastic facility that's built with the focus of being trauma informed, and so a lot of thought went into the building about the lighting and the spaces that are created within the centre. Within the centre we have an early learning unit, we also have child and parent support, we have mobile play groups, and yeah, everyone from the community is welcome to come in and visit. It's a very special place to all of us. So we're just coming up for our 10th anniversary next year, so we're all very excited about that.
So this is the one of the seasonal calendars. There are 3 languages that are taught and used in Baigawi in particular. This is the Purrumpa seasonal calendar. Would somebody who would like to speak about just the reason the seasonal calendars are included in our presentation, what role they play at Baigawi? Go, Jadine. This is the Purrumpa calendar.
So yeah, this is our seasonal calendar. Tells us about all the seasons we have, like the Paranga season, dry season. Wet season. That's wet day. Wet season. What's the other one? Paranga. What their mother too.
Yeah, hot weather. Yeah, I'm there. Hot weather.
I'd like to say about the calendar. There's a Guniandi calendar. We use that as a tool. We've been taught by that calendar. They've been put by the elderly, and that's why we put all the stories through that to teach the little ones. So as we talk about passing the generation, so that's what we're doing back to our center. And we go by a wet season, cold season, and dry season. That's 3 seasons. There's a Paranga, hot season. Mongowala, that's windy time, and Irala, that's rainy time. So that's a 3 season there. Thank you.
So displayed on the screen, these are some of the things that we work around at Baigawi to create that healing and wellbeing for our children and our educators and everyone in the community. So we've established a garden to plate. So we grow lots of fruit and vegetables in our garden, and then the children prepare them. We have them for lunch. We have our Many Stories project, which is what we're going to talk about more today, where we have stories that are in local languages for our children that these ladies have taken a lot of pride in creating these things for the children. We also have songs, which Gillian's been a big part of, so all of our songs and music that we have within the centre are all in local languages. We don't have colonisation songs. We have songs that are for Baigawi, written for Baigawi, and for the Fitzroy Valley. We also, we also have a virtual crafting group, but we'll talk about that a bit more later.
As you can see at the picture there, that's me with my elder and family member. We find that going out on country is open. Old people will just have ideas come into them, where it's different when you're in like classroom. They don't see that as a learning space, but out on country, that's where we have a lot of stories telling and coming together with elderly, and that's an important places we see and find.
This photograph is from one of the bookmaking projects. So as stories start to evolve and a story arc takes shape, then they start to move towards becoming a book. And that process has involved workshops with children's illustrator and author Alison Lester. I've not been part of these, but who would like to speak about working with Alison and what you've learned?
Well, yeah, I published my first book with Alison Lester last year. You can see it over there, the orange one. Yeah, you've been like just creating stories or making stories, you know, with all different tools, like all different like felts and storyboard, and then getting it published into a book.
And we've brought a lot of those materials here with us. So at the end of our spoken presentation, we'd love you to come up and pick things up and have a look and ask the authors and illustrators, the artists here, the questions to find out more. Amy, what do we see here?
Okay, so what we see here is images from our virtual crafting group. So we've got a virtual crafting group that is people that have been connected to Baigawi all over Australia, that we Zoom in once a month, and we all sit and we craft together. So we get, the seasonal animals and things that the educators need for the stories and for storytelling, and then we have people all over Australia that sit together with us one afternoon a month, and we create the felt resources for our storytelling and for our children. So we have them as props for all the stories, and even our language, culture and wellbeing team spend a lot of time making these felt animals and seasonal characters as well, which we've brought along today for everyone to have a look at. And it just changes the way that we can tell a story. Rather than just reading a story, we can actually sit down and use the props and make it more interesting for the children.
Patricia, what's happening in this picture, this making these mats?
Well, it's important for the little ones. The mat time is, we're coming down to their level, and you can see that they really enjoyed. We're telling them in local animals, even that mat is created by a river, and so that's how we find mat is more, it's related to us when we go out on the country with children, and that's how we tell our story, by getting down to their level and introducing all these local knowledge to these children.
All right. Jadine, is your mic working? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, good. Because we live on Purrumpa country, so the first songs and language stories we're going to share are Purrumpa, which Jadine and Susan will tell us a bit more about the work that they've been doing with language and with book writing or resource creating.
Yeah, so basically we created like storybooks and songs, lullabies and stuff for the children to sing along with us. This one is about birds, Dirigiyani.
Okay. So are you ready to have a sing? Yeah. Okay, good. We've got some words up on the side here, so we'd love you to be close to us, but then you won't be able to see the words. So sit where you can see the words, and Susan will and Jadine will tell us what this song is about and help us with the pronunciation, and then I'll help you with the singing, and we're going to sing it through together, just 2 verses of Dirigiyani.
Jirigi is birds. There's 4 birds in this song. They all most of them are cockadoos, black, white. What's the other one? Pink. Pink is the pink cockadoo is Gling Gling. Gling Gling. The laba is the white cockadoo. No, black. Yeah, the white cockadoo. The dera is the black cockadoo. And we're going to just cut it short there and just do 2 birds. You want to start? Yeah? You guys want to join in? If you want? Ready? So, you guys.
You'll see that there's a lot of repetition, and you get 4 goes.
So this is how we interact with the children and through language and the center as well. So
I'm still working on my pronunciation, but I do have the biggest singing voice, so I'll do my best. Actually, we'll say it first. Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
Beautiful. How does it sound? I like it.
But we are singing, not bad.
Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi. Copy?
Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
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 Okay. Let's
Yeah.
sing that much together. 1,
Gling gling.
together, go. Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi. Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi. Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
And then the first bird is the gling gling, which was
Pinkala.
pinkala.
Gling
Gling
gling yani bunaba yua moi. Gling gling yani bunaba yua moi. Gling gling yani bunaba yua moi. Gling gling yani bunaba yua moi. Yani bunaba yua moi. Yani bunaba yua moi. Yani bunaba yua moi. Gling gling yani bunaba yua moi.
I got it. But I've realised I didn't teach you the verse melody, so I'll just do it line by line for you. Lapa. Lapa yani bunaba yua moi. Copy.
Lava yani bunaba yua moi.
Lapa yani bunaba yua moi.
Lava yani bunaba yua moi.
Lapa yani bunaba yua moi. Lapa yani bunaba yua moi. And then we go back to the chorus. Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi. Jirigiyani bunaba yua moi.
Jirigiyani bunaba
yua moi. Lapa yani bunaba yua moi.
Kalau ngadu. Ada ya depan no. Ada lah.
As you can see, this is me there standing, and that's my story there. Them 2 brolga, we call it Gura Duwanti. I done it in my books, but I did publish with Alison Lester, but I'm just waiting for it. But I've got the copy. Thank you. which is me and her got to sing this song, Gabi Wandi, that's Fish in the River. I done it in Walmajeri. Thank you.
Okay, so Gabi Wandi, just juggling. So this song is a song, you know, with young children we often get them to read, we go backwards or we go forwards through a list of things. This song is really a list of fish that live in the river. June, I'm going to pass the microphone back to you so you can translate the words for us.
Gabi Wandi median, Walmajeri, it's a lot of fish. And Gabi Balonguni, it's mean they live in the river. Madhuwara means river, and Murubal is the Barramandi in Walmajeri. And the next one is the black brim, and number 2, we call it Jambanbaro. And they all live in the river. Bit more, we're going to sing it together. It's Golumajeri is catfish, and sawfish it's bial. Thank you.
So the first word, Gabi Wandi Balunguni. Gabi Wandi Balunguni. Maru warala, maru warala. I think you're very, very courageous starting another language so soon. Thank you for singing with us.
Gabi Wandi Balunguni, Gabi warala, maru warala. Gabi Wandi Balunguni, maru warala, maru warala.
And then the first fish is the murubal. The murubal lives in the Maruwara, and murubal was the
Barramandi.
Barramandi. My favourite fish. Murubal
Balunguni, maru warala.
We do that again. Murubal So then we go back to the chorus. It's the same tune as before. Gabi Wandi
Balunguni, maru warala, maru warala.
Gabi Wandi
Balunguni, maru warala, maru warala.
I hope you have your hands free, because now you need to do 3 claps. We're going to sing the name of the catfish, jumping barrel.
No, that's the brim.
That's the brim, sorry. The black brim. And we're going to go, jumping barrel, jump. Clap, clap, clap. 3 claps. Let's do it again. Jumping barrel, jump. Murubal
Balunguni, maru warala.
Again. Jumping barrel, jump. Murubal
Balunguni, maru warala.
Back to the chorus. Gabi Wandi
Balunguni, maru warala, maru warala.
Gabi Wandi
Balunguni, maru
Maduwara.
All right, now we've got an extra fish. Kula Majari. This one's the cat. Kula Majari, jump. Jumping baru, jump. Murubal
Balunguni, maru warala.
Kula Majari, jump. Jumping baru, jump. Murubal
Balunguni, maru warala.
Those claps are getting really good now. Okay, chorus. Let's go. Gabi Wandi Balunguni, maru warala, maru warala. Gabi Wandi Balunguni, maru warala,
Maduwara.
Sawfish, endangered sawfish. We saw it in the picture before. Bial, bial, ja. Gula Majari, ja.
finished, no?
Ignore that word gabi there, that's not supposed to be there. That should have got you.
Well,
Almost at the end.
What do you like?
Gabi wandi barunguning maru warala maru warala. Gabi wandi barunguning maru warala maru warala. And what did these words mean, June? Gabi wandi jao malan.
Gabiwandi, that's all the fish. They swim, Jaumal, they swim together in the river.
Jao malan maburi.
Yeah. Madhuwara.
Gabiwandi
Jaumalan Madhuwara.
Jaumalan
Mabri Madhuwara.
You're right, no, finished, no? See, got a fish.
And then this is the Goody Andy stories and songwriting. Handing over to Patricia.
Hello. Hello. That's my Pelican song, Mayeda. It's a counting song. So I sing that to the young ones back home at where I work. So that's in Guniandi. And we're going to sing that.
We're going to sing it. Actually, and also in this picture, we've got the Yilimi words, which I've brought with us, and they're pinned up down there. And we brought this because the words change. It takes time, I think. Do you want to talk a little bit about just the language checking process that we use?
Yeah, so when we when we put stories into language, we don't just put it out there and to get it published. We have to go back to our teacher, and that's our elder, to correct the words. And once that's all done, then we know that, yeah, we can get finalized with our old people, yeah.
So could you translate the words of this one for us, please, Patricia?
Yuani, that's one. Kandawari, that's two. Ngaluru, that's three. Mayada, that's Pelican. So it's a counting song, only 1, 2, 3, so.
And what about Nyumbul Gurulaya?
Nyumbul mean swimming, the pelican swimming in a billabong. Korolaya.
And then right at the end, what do we learn about that pelican? Mayada Ngirinjila.
Mayada is, that word Nyilinjilia is hungry. And the last part is Mayada is eating the pelican. No, sorry, the fish, sorry.
Okay, so it's a counting song, but there's also a storyline, and we have, again, this is one that we have creatures that Patricia will show you after. Okay. So it starts with an echo, so we'll say the number, we'll sing the number here, and we'll get you to sing it back to us. Then when we get to the yellow word Mayada, we sing all together. So, Yuani. Thank you. Gandiwiri, Ngaludu, Mayada, Yuani, Gandiwiri, Ngaludu, Mayada. Great. And then we sing together. Nyumbu Gurulaya. Nyumbu Gurulaya. Nyumbu Gurulaya. Nyumbu Gurulaya. Nyumbu Gurulaya. Maya Nyirinjila. Okay, let's sing that much together. First verse.
Yeah.
So the whole one there can hear you because I'm spoiled here in front row.
Yeah. and I haven't got a microphone, but I'm hoping my big voice will be picked up by this. It probably won't be so big up. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3.
Yuani,
Gandiwiri,
Gandiwiri,
Ngaludu,
Ngaludu, Mayada,
Yuani, Kandawiri, Naladu,
Mayada, Nyumbul Kurulaya, Nyumbul Kurulaya, Nyumbul Kurulaya, Mayada, Ninenjila, Yuani, Kanduwiri, Naladu, Kawi, Yuani, Kanduwiri, Naladu, Kawi, Mayada Kangapura, Mayada Kangapura, Mayada Kangapura, Kawi. Hello.
Over in the last 12 months as well, Bayagawi's purchased a large collection of instruments, which I've advised them on. So you can see some of these here. We've got a really huge collection of frogs. So all of our frog songs and stories now can be accompanied by small and large frog guiros. You can see this huge gathering drum here, and we use this for storytelling. So in the picture here, they're telling a hunting story. They've walked into the bush. They've made scratching sounds of different animals they can hear. And at some point, there's going to be a gunshot with a successful kill, and then they're going to be able to take their kill back to camp and cook it up and have a good feed. And in the bottom picture is an instrument called the ocean drum. When you roll it around, it's a flat drum filled with small ball bearings. And as they roll around on the skin, then they create the sound of waves, of ocean, or of tidal movements. We have a lot of bells, we have a lot of long ringing sounds, just lots of different sounds that are very evocative and sort of support the storytelling work. MC, handing to you, because this is really your story now.
Yeah, so at the childcare and play group, and we're doing stories and like felt storyboard and going out on country. So we make a story when we go out on country with elders, and that's where we get all our information and to start a book up, you know. Well, my story, this story of mine, this the orange one, the Jaramba one, and I've done the story when I was small, like when I grew up, how they told me, my mother's, auntie, grandmothers. So I've done a story with Jaramba. I don't know if you know Jaramba. It's a freshwater, like a freshwater prawn, cherubim. How they used to catch them before throwing nets and fishing line before. But yeah, doing them stories, it's really good, and it's teaching your kids, teaching them, you know, taking them out with elders, teaching them, and just, getting them together.
We've got one more song to sing, which is written by MC, and it's for her. It accompanies her new book. She's got the images for this new book, the Moon Song. This one's written in Creole. Do you want to tell us anything about where this song comes from?
So this song, it's my second book coming up. So it's probably going to get launched next year again. This one in Creole, and my book, that first one, is in Wellbeing, in language. And this second book with that moon, it's in Creole and with a song.
Let's sing for them. We're a little short on time, so we won't teach line by line. We'll sing it together.
That moon, look on me. Down long a day from that old one gum tree. Please let that moon
moon, shine along me. Shine along everybody I love. Oh, belong at that boot hill. Oh, belong at that ship hill. Oh, belong at that sandbar where we sleeping. Please let that moon shine along me. Shine along everybody I love. Yeah, lullaby song.
Getting a collection of lullabies together is one of the current projects. And also this was inspired by the song I See the Moon and the Moon Sees Me, but rather than just translating it, MC and I worked on just localising it. So the Ship Hill, the Boot Hill, the Sandbar, these are all places where you go camping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's near the community where I stay.
When we put all of these elements together, then we have the visual storytelling, we have the song, we have the story itself, and the story mats. It can look a little bit like this.
Teji lambat nyamani gawi ndeji nyamani gawi malami duani ja the daddy sat down, catch that big, if you catch that big swordfish, put it back kambaya panwari kambaya malami ngapinya neji don't eat the big swordfish because we gotta keep it because they breed big small, they make the more baby swordfish, so we gotta look after them. Gambiriya wara kawayandi, malami gabiya wara, and they junanga. So look after our fish. And nidaji and money ngajanga, nidaji ngajawa, maniwa, tunga lambadi kalwani. She got the little swordfish, and the ngabu said, malami duanija, ne, you don't get that little swordfish. Put it back. One way gambaira. Malami ngapija neji lambadi. Don't eat the little one. You save it so it can grow big and strong and fat for the right time. But ngaranyi ngabu and ngaranyi duonga ngaranyi ngaranyi mom, the mother, she got a right size galwanyi. Junangara neji ngabu. This is the right one. We can eat the right size galwani.
About the baby.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And we're gonna sing this song. Right size galwani.
I'm just going to pause it there because I'm conscious of time and I want there to be a bit of time to look at the things that we've brought with us. We're just coming up. I hate to interrupt things, but I also would really love you to have a chance to talk with all the presenters because we're rather than a Q&A where we've got displays on either side. So please, if you could take a few minutes just to come and meet the artists and educators and hear a bit more about what they've been working on and their materials, that would be lovely. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. I can't believe it's some of your guys' first time on the stage. You did spectacularly. Come on. Yeah. JD, you're taking my job next time. Yeah, true God. And singing as well in front of people. That's so hard to do. And isn't that just such a beautiful story? That's just made me want to have kids. Proper. Thank you, ladies.